We hope he makes the right choice.
The war game's growing more dangerous on the Ukrainian border.
Vladimir Putin should understand that
thousands of troops practicing combat operations, with Russian warships arriving in the Black Sea.
During a Geneva summit of European countries and North American countries in 2021 in Geneva, Switzerland, these countries discussed about Russia putting almost 100,000 troops in the border of Russia and Ukraine, which is a really big threat and a really big sign that Russia will soon attack or annex the whole Ukraine to their territory, and Ukraine will now be part of Russia. This also imposed that maybe by some point this can cause the Third World War, which is really bad. If it could happen, maybe some would be excited at for some reason, because it's a once in a lifetime. Yet it is a really dangerous thing. It could kill 1 million people. So why did Russia do this? So Ukraine and Russia shares a really common history. They are both part of the Soviet Union that collapsed in 1991, and when the Soviet Union collapsed, they both became independent countries. But Putin, as we all know, the president of Russia, really believed that Ukraine should be part of Russia, since Ukraine really shares a common culture and history that it is almost indistinguishable from Russian culture, from Russia. Putin believes that Ukraine is part of Russia and should be part of Russia. So if ever Russian troops, this 100,000 Russian troops in the Ukrainian-Russian border will attack Ukrainian at some point, this could be really a big mess in the Eastern Europe that would surely involve not only these Eastern European countries, and of course will also involve Western European countries, the allies in North America and the allies in Asia, especially China and Japan, India and Iran, and many more. Many countries would also take this opportunity to gain more lands, to make stronger alliance with other countries, which already happened in the Second World War, as we witnessed 70 years ago. So, is there a way to stop this? There is. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, has 3 demands. That if these 3 demands was given to Russia, they will withdraw these troops from the border. They will stop an attack. First demand is that the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which has members of different countries such as the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, and many more in Europe and North America, should stop expanding. They should stop letting new members or new countries to join the organization, especially Ukraine, because Ukraine now is becoming more and more pro-Western. They are electing more and more pro-Western politicians. So Russia think that there's a really big chance that at some point from now, Ukraine would somehow join the NATO. So they don't want that to happen. Putin's next demand is that the NATO should withdraw all their troops at the border, which we could obviously assume that NATO won't do that, since if they will do that, Russia will take that opportunity to attack Ukraine freely, and they won't be prepared for that. However, if NATO will withdraw all their troops in the Ukrainian-Russian border, Putin said that they will also withdraw all those 100,000 troops and will abandon those camps and clinics that they've built in the border, near the border. The next and last demand of Vladimir Putin of Russia is that the USA or any of its allies shouldn't protect any of the Eastern European nations near Ukraine or Ukraine. They should not fight Russia at any cost. That's the demand of Putin. So if those 3 demands was given to Vladimir Putin or to Russia itself, then there's a possibility that World War III or any war between Ukraine and Russia or Eastern Europe and Russia will not happen. But we also know that those demands, Putin and the other side, which are NATO, we all know that those demands will not be given because those demands are impossible.